Hey guys, welcome to the Sua Sponte podcast. Again, I'm Ken Harper, and with me is Will Israel. And today we're going to talk about big hearts under the big sky. So, Will, can you let the guys know, like, what was the reason behind starting Big Hearts?
Yeah, I'm gonna show our logo real quick. I've got it on the back of this Bible here. Um, so, Big Hearts Under the Big Sky is the nonprofit arm of the Montana Outfitters and Guides Association. Big Hearts was started about 17 years ago as a 501c3, and the mission of Big Hearts is to support veterans, first responders, and kids with terminal illnesses and their families to transition and transform into a loving, cohesive group. And we do that through some world class outfitted and guided trips, hunting, fishing, rafting, backcountry camping, backcountry trail rides, and things like that. And so that has become what we call the heart of Moga. Big Hearts Under the Big Sky. Big Hearts was started as a vision from the original guy who put it together, a guy named Mac Menard. Mac's father was a 30-year Navy veteran, and and Mac wanted to do something to give back to this community that needed it. And so when they originally started up, they did a couple of trips, and now it's continued to grow. And so what they originally thought would be this, the center of the spoke of the wheel would be MOGA, would be the Outfitters and Guides Association. What they came to find is the center of the hub are the families that are helped, are the families that are taken out on these trips. And so now we've done as many as 14 in one year. Typically, we're at like 6 to 8 right now, which is on average. And those families, it has helped over 500 people. 96 outfitters have donated trips within the association, and thousands of lives have been impacted. Myself being one, our family was selected and went on a trip last year. And so I'll share a personal experience about Big Hearts. 4 years. I had about 5 years deployed while I was in active service for 21 years. So about a quarter of my time, I was gone for combat, for training, for extended deployments and things like that. And and so I always looked at my family kind of like they were inside this snow globe, right? Like I was on the outside looking in, and that's the analogy I had is they were in there. It's this cool little group of people. I love them. I don't really know how to relate to them that well because I come and go so much, and I'm very focused on my career. And when left the military, I was trying to figure out how to get in there, how to get in that snow globe with them. And so after that trip, we had so much time spending one on one with each other, interacting, doing fun things, reconnecting. I shared. I said at our celebration dinner that now I feel like I'm in the snow globe with my family. And then this last Christmas, my middle daughter Addison, she gave me a snow globe for a Christmas present. And so that's the kind of impact. And her and I have she's a tough kid and hard. She's known me most of the time while I was gone, and my oldest daughter too. And so I keep that on my nightstand as a reminder. And so that's the impact that Big Hearts has on families. And then that branches out. If you think about a wheel, an old wagon wheel, the spokes of that wheel are, it's the outfitter, it's the, it's MOGA members, it's the ambassadors, that supported it. It's, Big Hearts also has a local school that builds wonderful things for our banquet. That's 20 kids here at Capitol High School. That's another spoke that they donate to our banquet. There's family foundations, there's organizations that support with funding and things like that. But the center of that wheel is those families, and I'm living walking proof of the transformational impact that Big Hearts Under the Big Sky has on veterans, first responders, and kids with terminal illnesses. So I'm happy to serve as I'm the overall executive director for MOGA, and then to support Mac and his efforts. Mac's currently the director for Big Hearts. We just had a family that went out last weekend. Had a wonderful time, young gal with liver failure and some really nasty injuries. And when you think about, so veteran is one side, kids with terminal illnesses, it's amazing what happens there if they're healthy enough to go on these trips. So that's a determination factor. When we get them out there, and them and their families, you're shocked to find out some of their backstories. We had a young lady last year that was on her 25th surgery for spina bifida. Her family she's 17, in a wheelchair. Her family, to include her sister, they have lived in a hospital for the past 17 years. Since she was born, they have been in and out of surgery. They have been in and out of doctor's visits, in and out of checkups, just keeping her, healthy and alive. And so to take that entire family and to put them out on a trip where, everything is provided, your feet never touch the ground on one of these trips. It is world class. Like, if you were to put a dollar amount on it, sky is the limit. Some of them are very exorbitant because that is the impact. And so what we see is and some of our kids do end up passing, but their families always remember, that was one of their final gifts. That was one of their final memories. And so to be a part of that is pretty special. And to have had that experience myself is pretty cool. So anyways, that's our nonprofit, Big Hearts Under the Big Sky. It is wonderful, and I really it's just a blessing to be a part of it. So,
well, and I think it's really special what you said, that analogy with the snow globe, because I know for many guys in battalion, regular Army guys, I have friends that are forest firefighters. I have friends that are, federal marshals, FBI, stuff like that, where they're gone a lot and then they come home. And I think your analogy about shaking the snow globe is so good, because often you're gone so much that you come back and it just feels like you're home in time for the chaos and the shake, and then you leave. And I have a really good friend, and his oldest boy went through liver failure a couple years ago, and they had to get his liver completely replaced. And like you're saying, again, it's that chaos situation where it's like you're in the snow globe getting shook and you don't get any time off. You're just in the hospital trying to get to work and all that. And so to be able to have that time set aside where you can really have somebody care for you and take care of you, I think that's pretty awesome that you guys do that.
Yeah, really, the organization changes the families. It changes the outfitters who donate those trips. It changes the ambassadors that support them. It changes all those spokes that it provides for. It's very little known. It's, our funding is mostly through our annual banquet, and through wonderful people that believe in it and support it. But we don't need a ton of money either. It's, like we are able to help out the number of folks that we need to help out every year. And so that's proof that it's sustainable. It's going on its 17th year now. Our nomination process starts in March. Normally those are kind of word of mouth, people who have attended before and then nominate somebody else. We've had a number of special operators, Rangers, Navy SEALs, normal Army veterans, Navy, Air, like there is no like veteran is veteran. So it's not specific to any one core group. First responder, law enforcement, firefighters, EMS. And then, the determination is based on a diagnosis of the child, without, excessive and proper medical intervention, they would pass away, by their 18th birthday. And so we have just these phenomenal organizations that are connected to it, that believe in what we do, that receive the awesome benefits, and it's really life changing. So thank you for asking, and happy to share. And like I said, just it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of it. So,
do you does location matter? Like, it's just Montana outside?
We anybody from the U.S. All of our trips are in Montana through members of the Outfitter and Guide Association here in the state. So we have about 270 outfitters, and about a third of them have taken trip recipients out on some of these trips. So yeah, it's life changing for those guys too. We're very careful with our selection of who takes people out. It's got to be, just a world-class knockout, awesome experience, and very, very conscientious about our ambassadors that support these trips. We do a large celebration dinner at the end, hand out donated quilts from wonderful little old ladies here in the state, and Bibles on occasion. So yeah, some pretty spectacular stories, and yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful organization, and I thank you for asking about it. It's happy to share it. So yeah.
And so family size doesn't matter either, and you guys pretty much pay for everything to get them there, and it's just okay.
Yeah, if they're in state, self travel, out of state, cover travel expenses, cover all expenses for the trip. Hunting tags can be a bit of a challenge in order for somebody to do like a trophy elk or mule deer or something like that. Typically, those are a combination of donated tags from other people. Could take several. So we get a lot of donated elk and deer tags to be able to provide to donate to that person. So we have a wonderful group of people who do stuff like that. And yeah, and then the services that the outfitters provide themselves. These are trips that can exceed $20,000. So that as an in-kind donation or paying some of the costs, but very limited number of costs is really unreal. So I mean, we get hundreds of thousands of dollars of in-kind donations like that per year for these trips from our outfitters. So. And then they come to the banquet, and they get to see everybody again, and it's just it's really special. So, I'm a little bit of a softie, so these things have become really it's a heartfelt organization, and its heart is to support those folks that deserve it the most. So I'm standing on the shoulder of giants. Mac Menard this was his idea, his baby. It was supported by some awesome members of the board at the time, and it has just grown into a beautiful, beautiful organization. So really happy to share it.
So just, what is it, Big Hearts Under the Big Sky online? They can figure out where on the website to apply, and then just wait to hear back on a determination.
Yeah, so our nominations open up in March. We have please check us out on Facebook. It's Big Hearts Under the Big Sky, and become a friend. And then we have a website as well. And so the nomination process opens up in March. And so you can submit an application, and email Mac Menard. You can find us online or email information, or give us a call, and love to throw a bunch of people in there, and help those families to transform. So it's a transformational process, and it works, man. It's wonderful. So we have some follow on it's not one and done. So we're working on a program right now for aftercare and after connections, after community. So you don't go on a trip and then everybody forgets about you. So we've got more components to build up from that aspect. So, but yeah, that's Big Hearts in a nutshell.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're doing that, and I hope people will reach out to you if this is something that they feel like they need or they know somebody that needs it. And thank you for all your time today. Just your vulnerability and being so open, just with your struggles and helping, having that desire to want to help others.
Hey, love you, brother. Thanks for what you guys are doing. You and
Yeah,
Gonzalez are good people, and I think you guys are, on the right track. There's a lot of once you leave the community, it's not gone forever. It's active and it's there for you. I certainly want to promote Three Rangers Foundation and local community link ups. That's where Ken and I came to know each other. So if you're out there in your community and you're looking for some ranger buddies that are just right down the road, get together in some ranger meetups through the Three Rangers Foundation, and start going to some breakfasts and reconnect with some bros. So it's a really awesome community. So thank you, Ranger buddy. God bless you, man, and take care.
thank you, Will. Like we always say, Rangers lead the way.
All the way.